Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master today. Today, we are playing Session 20 of our ongoing campaign play, Paizo's very cool science fantasy role-playing game, Starfinder. And with me today, for our 20th episode, are the stars of the Starfinder campaign. I'll go the order that I've got you guys here. First up, we've got Ingolf.
Yeah, hi. I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Vuldan, who is a Vesk soldier and tries to think of himself as a captain of the ship. And, well, we will see where it leads us.
Nice. And next up is Morris.
Hi, I'm Morris. I'm playing Kat, who's a trail operative, who is basically keeps the ship running and prods Vuldan when he needs help.
Nice. And next up is Thomas.
Yeah, hi, I'm Thomas. I'm playing Zakros, the human priest of Pharasma, a lady of graves, and I try to keep the group alive.
Nice. Well, I guess with the Lady of Graves, you're really on their side either way, right?
Yeah. I try.
And last but not least is Brent.
Hey, I'm Brett. I'm playing Tom the Android, or Android Tom. He is a technomancer and xenoarchaeologist who is more on the morally flexible side and is a scholar of magic items.
Excellent. So, last session, guys, we had quite the chatty session with all of you guys meeting a bunch of new friends at one of the Yasaki traveling caravans called Rust Racket. Now, you also learned a great deal of information last session as well, too, which I think led to some deliberations as to what were the best next steps. What were the key bits of information that you guys picked up last session? Things that you didn't know before.
Well, there certainly seemed to be some corporate stuff happening in the Bounty, which is the party that is slightly terraformed.
Yep.
There was a crash ship, and there was obviously something going on with the genetically engineered dinosaurs that live there, and the corporation that who I didn't make notes of,
Vitatech,
had a crashed ship, and that someone had been captured there.
Yeah, so let me help you. You're hitting sort of some of the points too, but the particulars of that, I think, were that it was actually one of the VPs who was in charge of that project who had crashed there, and he was the only one to come out of he didn't crash in the Bounty, he crashed on the way to the Bounty in the Shobhad territory around the Ka.
Right.
And he was the lone survivor who came wandering out of there.
I think for Vuldan, the most interesting thing was that they have this witch weird. So the Shobhads are guided or whatever, are led by some strange creature which isn't a Shobhad, which might be the key to, in a way, disbanding those Shobhads. So the problem is that they are one group, and if they are in their tribes fighting amongst each other, everything is fine, as far as Vuldan understands. So kill that one, and then...
Yeah, things got a lot more difficult or complicated.
Can't be.
No, there definitely seems to be someone else involved in helping the Shobhads, so we did actually discuss trying to scout the place out and look at it from a distance.
Yes.
What do you guys remember about the involvement of the Contemplatives? Those floating brain guys who live on Akiton as well.
So there was this thing with the ball that Zakros wants to call orb. I don't know what that means, but there's this strange ball that the contemplatives are studying, and it might be used to do some weird magical stuff.
The shadow orb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you recall also where the raid came from as well. There was a raid that came out of the Shobhad territory. They seemed to be striking on only people who were in their areas, but there was that raid on a contemplative base, or contemplative monastery. It was Varula. That was the Hilki mystic that Zakros spoke to. She had a connection. Her particular mystic connection is to the Akashic network, is into the sort of like, universal mind. And in her studies, she knew that she'd heard, I guess, that that monastery had been hit, and then a bunch of the contemplatives had been kidnapped. So that seems obviously very unusual for Shobhads to be, engaged in.
Yeah, and it seems that everyone who gets kidnapped gets also brainwashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got the Vitatech. What they were currently proposing is to use some kind of new weapon of mass destruction to take out these enormous, things. And the VP who would be in charge of that project is the guy who came wandering out of the desert. I think that was a point of concern that you learned from Boom Boom, from Vuldan's little Yasaki friend, who is absolutely not part of the Whisker Network.
Yes.
What Whisker Network?
What Whisker Network, exactly. Why are we talking about this? So what, and then I guess the other thing is you guys were talking about if you wanted to try and talk your way in, the safe place to meet up with Shobhads, where you're guaranteed that they will not attack people and you can actually trade or interact with them, is in Hive Market.
Yeah.
Because Hive Market...
I thought we could... I mean, there was also some discussion whether we could go to Hive Market and use a planetary communicator to send a message back to... I should know the name.
Sedona?
Sedona.
Yeah.
Saying something much bigger's going on. Any suggestions?
Okay.
I mean, the other way is we could go back there and then contact the corporation.
There, of course, is Sedona.
So I wasn't quite sure. Did the vice president make it all the way out, or was he captured by the Shobhads after he came out of the...
All he said is that he was the sole survivor of the shuttle crash, and then he had just survived in the desert.
All right, so he's back at Hive Market or somewhere?
No, not at Hive Market. He is in one of the communities along the Adio Rift.
All right. Oh, okay. Of course, yeah, because that's where some of the remaining corporate bits live, isn't it?
Yeah, and he is a what do you call it? He is a VP. So I mean, like, he's going to be, jetting around in executive or in what do you call it? It's like fancy, luxury shuttles and things like that. So he's not, slumming with the riffraff on Akiton. At least that's the stereotype. So, you guys were Rust Rocket was going to be carrying on in a direction out of the part of the. I still haven't changed the update time. Just got a reminder that we're going to start playing. So where do you guys? I guess like what you want to decide is what your next step is. Do you go and try and reconnoiter the what do you call it? The Shobhad boss's camp? Do you try and talk to the contemplatives? Do you talk to that corporate rep? Do you head back to Ebbidsburn? What are you thinking?
I don't know. It'd almost be interesting to either talk to the contemplatives or maybe some of the other Shobhads to see if something if we could find ones that are willing to hold a conversation to see if everyone is sort of in thrall of the Grand Khan.
Yeah.
Or whether that's he's got a group of core followers who seem really intense. I'm wondering this is trying to prove the link of mind control is creating this.
Yeah, because I mean, presumably not all the Shobhads might agree with this. And also at Hive Market, we can hook back up to the internet, as it were. Because out in the desert, presumably we've got very basic comms, if none at all. But at Hive Market, we can tap into the local networks and maybe do a bit of research and maybe even try and contact the the company.
I wonder if
To
it's
see
worth.
if the VP saw anything when he was staggering out the desert.
Yeah.
So
But I think
if
maybe
he hit the
Hive Market and
company-
then try and talk to the Shobhads that might be there. And also, presumably, there is a way of sending a message to the Contemplatives who I think live. Where is the monastery? Is it on the Alkiri Plateau? I seem to remember.
Witches, right?
Where do the Contemplatives live? I suppose culture would give us that, wouldn't it?
Well, this is a specific monastery that was hit.
Ah, right.
You know, talking
How
to
far away is the monastery kept from the town?
from here, it would probably be a 4 or 5 day trip, just because it's.
We could go there first, because it's
Yeah,
probably a
that's
couple
what
of
I was-
days back to Hive Market.
Sorry, but the initial mission is just to get that girl,
Right.
and not driving around in the country and talking to everyone we find interesting.
I know. I
It's
was
also an interesting adventure, but that's not what we are here to do.
Oh, I agree. But I thought maybe if we talk to these and then if we communicate with Sardona, we can give her some extra information, which may look favorably upon ourselves.
Yeah, because if we went back to Hive Market, that would take us. Well, we've got an improved truck now, haven't we? We beefed it up a bit, but that's still going to take us 2 days. So I'm in two minds. Is either we go and visit the Contemplatives, and we might be able to get them to employ us to recover their people as well.
Yeah, and then we still need to figure out where our target is.
Well, yeah, we get the impression. Well, we think she's in the Pillar of the Sky with the Shobhad group. Whether she tried to infiltrate them and was also sort of mind controlled by the Witchweird or got caught. I mean, if there is mind control going on, that might explain why she's gone there, and may actually be coerced. But yeah, I'm in two minds. I mean, we could go to Hive Market, which would be quicker, do some research, and then maybe come back and try and target where she is, or we could do the same with the Contemplatives almost.
So if I understand correctly, Hive Market is on the way to the Shobad hideout.
Opposite
anyway.
direction.
Oh,
The
I
sort
thought
of
they-
you can go kind of like northeast to head towards, or northwest to go towards from where you guys are right now, towards the Contemplatives monastery. You can go northwest, or sorry, northeast to head towards the base, where it's somewhere in those sprawling, winding canyons underneath or the foot of of Ka. Or you can head southeast and head back towards Hive Market.
Yeah, so I think we're right down the bottom corner of the map.
Yeah, you guys are right around here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, the other way would be to investigate the crashed ship, see if there's anything there that's interesting.
Which crash ship?
That would risk the VP's crash ship, which is somewhere. Oh no, that crashed in the desert on the way, didn't it? So it's not actually in the bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to find it in the desert.
Yeah. Or we could just go to the Shobad. I mean, that's.
If we do that, we might be able to infiltrate it. I was and doing a very technomancer sort of specific calculation. Tom says that he could turn someone invisibility, and figuring that they ran in, that they would have a minute to look around camp, and I turned them invisibility 600 feet before the camp, so if we could sneak into that close.
Well, that's an option. I mean, I'm fairly good at the sneaky side of things.
And assuming you move 30, you've doubled.
Well, I do move 40 feet around, so I'm like
80. Okay, so you can go
25% faster than most people.
So yeah, 10 rounds a minute, 4 minutes, so a minute in, a minute out. So that double move is 80. So yeah, 800 feet away.
Well, presumably I'd run.
Yeah.
I should have taken jet dash at fourth. That would give me another 10 foot. Okay, well, I'm up for that, as long as you can set up some sort of distraction if it all goes wrong to cover my escape. So I think the idea was we'd try and inspect the camp from a distance during the day and then sneak in the next night.
All right.
It's of course assuming that this witch weird hasn't got any higher tech monitor surveillance
Okay.
equipment.
All right, we're going pretty far down the
tech,
rabbit
but-
hole. Hold on, we're going pretty far down the rabbit hole right now. So let's cut in with an actual scene here. So, Zakros.
I shouldn't be sitting around the fire with the Yoski bear discussing this one evening.
Yeah, and then we could maybe go to this, and then we can maybe do. And you see the Boom Boom kind of looks over at you guys, and he looks over at Voldan, and Voldan just kind of goes,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I have to live with. Yeah.
He says, better than you and me, boy.
Yeah.
Tink's your little.
I'm just counting the bullets of my gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a new spell out of the character operations manual to fabricate bullets or ammunition.
Nice.
Yeah. I saw it.
What did it use as a material component?
I have no earthly idea. It's,
Oh, well, we'll have to think about that one. Right, so we've got a choice, I think. We can either go to Hive Market, the Contemplatives, or try and sneak in. So...
Yeah.
should we just
I
sort of-
think our dungeon master was just about to say something. So.
oh, it's okay. You guys can. I'm just looking up what.
Okay, so.
No, I think he was
ammunition.
doing the hurry up, you're
Yeah,
waffling
yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah, so I think we've got three main approaches here. So
Okay. So we're leaving the corporate guy out.
well, I think the idea was we went
I'm just
to
being a
Hive
shit disturber.
Market. Yeah, we went to Hive Market,
He's a
we
bit far
probably
out of
also-
scope.
Yeah.
We try and contact them via electronic means
Okay.
initially and see if they're interested as well.
Okay. All right. So hold on, guys. Now let me shift here. We're going to shift our attention to Zakros. So Zakros, you guys have been sleeping in a tent in the desert for the last couple of days, and you are not sure if this is you sleeping or you awake or what. But you find yourself standing. I'm trying to find the illustration I want here. Here we go. Alone and in a sand-filled and eroded with rough stone on each side, a canyon. And this seems to go down. It's not like the one that you guys had found all those bugs in, where there's holes in the side and whatnot. This is it's almost as if someone has set up like an alleyway, but with somehow using the unbelievably old forces of erosion with which to work their structures. And you're alone. The sky is black, but when you look up, you can see there is a blazing hot sun above you as well. And you can't figure out why it seems so. When you look up, you're almost blinded by this star or sun or whatever in the sky, but when you look down, everything seems to be in that cool blue-tinged moonlight that you see in the evenings. And the only sound you hear is the sound of winds howling down this barren canyon. And you're looking around, and you can hear the sound of voices. And you recognize that because it is something that manifests when you tap into the power of the goddess of graves. Mm-hmm. And you look over, and further down the canyon, almost as if your eyes are bidden towards it, there is an enormous rectangular hole in the side. And you know that those lines are too perfect to be anything other than made by a sentient hand. And in spite of your cybernetic upgrades, your vision cannot pierce the darkness within. It seems as if the voices are coming from within there.
Yeah, with Zakros' newfound confidence, he's not afraid anymore. Pharasma is with him, so he steps closer and goes to this black window.
Okay. So
Yeah.
as you get closer, the scale of this opening or aperture becomes evident as it looms larger and larger and larger. And indeed, when you get there, this may be 30 feet up and maybe 20 feet wide. And you can
So
hear...
is this in the air or is it?
No, it's in the side of the canyon.
Ah, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So it's you're looking at this inside, and the pale bit of moonlight, the weak bluish light that is able to penetrate this darkening opening. You can see there are massive pillars inside, flanking either side, and from the sound of the wind howling inside, or swirling around at least, it seems that this cavern extends very far down.
So that opening is 40 feet high. Did I get this right?
Yeah, 30 or 35 feet high and about 20 feet wide.
Is it easy to climb up, or
You
if
can
not-
walk. You can walk directly in here. There's
Ah,
it,
okay.
it seems to go from what's on the ground is the sand and loose stones and things that make up the canyon floor, but almost immediately inside there is fine tile work that you can see that begins.
Yeah, I go closer and I will move inside.
Okay. So you... Oh, there it is. I was trying to find where I put my damn book. You step inside, and on either side there are massive crumbling pillars. And as you make your way along here, you're going to have to activate like a glow stick of some kind, or a light of some kind. And you find you're wearing your same travel gear that you were wearing in the desert. So I think you have access to the the light on your armor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I turn on my helmet and then I turn on the light.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see as you make your way in here. At first, the weight of the ages and the effect of the environment, it can be seen quite evident on the pillars, because the first ones you're passing are crumbled, and you can't make out whatever was, if there was anything carved onto the pillars, you can't make it out any longer. And at their foot is a bunch of rubble as these things have begun to disintegrate. But the further you get in, the more intact they are. And you think that it may actually be, you may be extending along close to 60 or 70 feet down. And as you get closer to the edge, you're looking, and what you can see is like carvings or hieroglyphs on the side of these pillars. And these figures that are depicted in them, in that, two-dimensional kind of way, are four-armed figures with long craniums.
So they look like Kazata?
They look like Kazathans, they might look like Shobhads, they might look like Witchweirds, now that you've learned of them. They may be their progenitors, too.
Okay, can I identify the hieroglyphs?
Sure.
Or the...
Why don't you give me a mysticism roll, please? Nat 1.
Oh,
You got a Nova point, you want to spend that?
yes, I will.
Okay.
My God. Yeah.
Nice, that's a little more like it. Alright, so what you can tell from what's on here and from the style of clothing and so forth, this appears to be very, very old. Like pre-technology. You're not seeing a lot of technological things that are referenced here. And you're kind of like studying one and then walking over to the other one and studying it in the darkness. And you get to one of the last ones near the end of the hallway, and you can actually see that there is a set of steps leading up. And before you get there, you do spare a look at one of the last pillars, and it seems on that pillar that there are two stylized Kasathan or whatever the four-armed figures are supposed to be, with their arms up like that on each side, and hanging above them is a pitch black perfect sphere. It's a circle, of course, in on the hieroglyph, but you can see that, and at that you can hear from deeper off in the ruins, and at that you awake. And you can hear the sound of your companions outside, you know, talking over what they should be doing next, where they should be going next.
Did I have an impression where that could be? Or was it just a dreamy area, desert-like, and I couldn't determine where that could be on this planet?
Yeah, I think that you may want to talk it over with Tom the android, because Tom obviously draws his connection or his power for something very different, and maybe even with Harula as well too. They may be able to help with that. Again, Tom is much more of a he is much more theory oriented or theorem, you know, driven in his magic. He has a different way of thinking about it, but still. So to answer your question first, I mean, maybe if you channeled in some way, like, you know, there are definitely spells that can help you locate things and places that you've been or things you've seen, right? I don't think you guys know any of them at present, but let's see here. Let's assume that you tell Tom, or I guess what do you tell Tom when you speak to him?
Yeah, so Tom, I got this strange dream, and I really think I'm really close to the Orb of Shadows. And the dream was so real. And I have a feeling it must be around here somewhere. Do you think with your magic you could help me out?
Maybe. What did you learn about it? Maybe if you talk about or describe it, maybe I could do some. I have a mysticism or cultural insight to that.
Yeah, I described exactly what I dreamt of and what I saw.
And I'm also a magic item scholar. I'm not quite sure if that's...
Yeah, sure. I'll give you plus...
Actually, to transfer... sometimes things get lost in words, so I touch his head and transfer everything I was dreaming into you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. You get a Nova point for that. So then what I think what you pick up, Tom, is not only the vision that he's seen, the same emotional resonance that it had for Zakros.
Can I use that visual image? Maybe we could work together to try and locate an image on, like, maybe using physical sciences. I could go, okay, this type of rock only appears, or this type of sand only appears in this part of the planet, or...
I'm not sure. Yeah. You know, I'll tell you one thing. Like, not only I think that's going to be a really, unless there was a really obvious like landscape feature that you could key in on, that would be fairly difficult to do anyway, because it's trackless, you know, hundreds if not thousands of miles of desert. And the other thing is you're not quite sure how trustworthy a dream can be either. Right. So that said,
but that's not happening while we're actually discussing what we do. What's the next step? Did this happen before, some days before?
This is happening. I think we can say this happened kind of concurrent with it. You guys had your drinks with Boom Boom. You talked quite a bit about what to do. It didn't sound like you hadn't decided, like, we'll all sleep on it and then we'll figure out tomorrow. And that's when you had your dream.
Okay.
Can I recognize the hieroglyphs at all? To pinpoint a specific culture?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a... It's going to be a fairly difficult roll. I think it'll be culture, Brent.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Could I assist at that then?
He has not given you... Nat 20. Nat 20. Wow. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm with assist... I want, from now on, just because I think the assist rules in Starfinder and Pathfinder are kind of weak sauce and compared to other things, what I want you guys to do is, if you want to assist, what you need to do is tell me what specifically you're doing in the fiction to contribute to that character's role. Okay? And then say, and I think that should assist. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay? Only because, you know, I played a couple other games recently where, like, the assist rules are just much better, rather than just being like, can I get a +2? Can I get a +2? Can I get a +2? So we'll do it that way, which I think will make for a more fun interaction. But with that in mind, Mo, do you have a way that you could try and help with that?
Well,
because the thing is, in fiction right now, it sounds like the way that Zachros has communicated this to Tom is with a telepathic link. So I'm not sure how Kat would have learned of that.
Well, it depends on whether this is Zachros and Tom's private conversation or whether this.
So the thing is, you need to establish in fiction what is going on before you can start doing stuff like that.
Yeah, are we sitting around having breakfast when we?
Yeah, I was imagine like in the Alien movie when I sit in the morning at the table and have the drinks, the breakfast, and I talk openly. Yeah, I talk openly.
There you go. Yeah, then it's okay.
Yeah, and but.
Go ahead, Tom.
That's it. No. This is then I move over to Tom and do this to him. I transfer all the all the information to his brain. And I don't know. Hang on.
And then I'd probably be discussing aloud what I've seen. Yeah. Just say, okay, this is maybe we can and just.
Okay.
Try and narrow things down.
Then why don't Kat, if you're the one who's going to be assisting then and kind of like adding. Asking questions and whatnot. Give me a culture roll, please.
Yeah. And I'm assuming he's using his conversation with one of his crew back home, as it were, because they were in the business of liberating.
Well, let's see. Yeah, let's see how the roll goes first, and then we'll figure out. We'll interpret from there. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you may have had some experience with this. Brent, you're going to get +2 to your roll.
Yay! Ooh, 31.
Oh, 31. Well, you already rolled a nat 20, so I mean, you really can't get better than that. So
it breaks it, like the +2 sort of breaks it past the 30 mark, so if that makes the difference.
I tell Vuldan, like, I'm sorry, Vuldan, I know we are looking for someone, but this is really important to me now. Yeah, we go back to our mission, immediately. But I have to sort this out now.
Okay.
Because I can see how impatient he is. You know, he actually only wants to rescue the woman. Yeah, get into action, and I just try to, because at the breakfast table I guess he's looking at me really annoyed. You know, and
I think I imagine he's eating something and he eats rather loudly because
That's so
okay.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here too.
Oh jeez. Okay, so I'm just trying to find the. I was rereading this before. I think it's called the progenitor culture, and that is basically the oldest set of ruins and the oldest type of ruins found on Akiton. I'm going to double check that in a second here. Yeah, I think that's right. So, and that is the same culture or the same species that that it provides basically the parent race, as it were, for the Kasathans, the Witch Weirds, and the Shobhads. So this appears to be some kind of ancient progenitor ruin or structure.
Okay.
So one thing I'll tell you as well with the Nat 20 is that the shadow orb, that is not something that is necessarily prevalent amongst all of the progenitor culture ruins. It's not something that's found everywhere. Like, it's not a ubiquitous, like, you know, like if you see an Ankh in Egyptian things, you automatically associate that with it. It's not the same kind of thing. The shadow orb or the shadow things, that is something unusual. It is an outlier. That's how you know how much you've studied this stuff, Brent. I think that because you have your particular interest, and in fact, what I'd say is that there is. They don't know a lot about it, but there seems to be a kind of dynasty that was around, that specifically oriented around that, and that was not the dominant, you know, that didn't seem to be everywhere on the planet. It was located to specific places and to specific time periods.
Okay.
Okay. So Zagros, this is about your ball.
No. This is about a very valuable item where even information, more concrete information about it, could be valuable to the right buyer. The orb would be priceless.
Well, yes, we're talking about a culture that is 50,000 years old, minimum.
Yeah,
Really,
it
belongs to the museum. And I say that with a big grin on my face. You know, like a private one.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, guys? Oh, you got a sidekick there, Brent.
Yeah. Oh, she ran away. Okay.
Yeah.
So, have we got an idea where this is then?
No, that doesn't help you. You know an awful lot about the. Brent was asking about the hieroglyphs.
Let's see.
Well, given that massive canyon, maybe it's in somewhere in there, but that's quite a way away.
So yeah, this seems so unproductive. So So this is about mystic stuff. Well, so let's go to the monastery.
So, Zachros, you do know, just in terms of the things you've got here, you do know that Harula, it does have a more powerful connection to the, what do you call it, to her Akashic network than what you do. Mm-hmm. She's older, she's been at this game longer, which means that she may be able to do things that you are not able to.
Maybe even decipher some of those runes.
Well, that's a plan. So I think maybe we should ask her. And I do like the idea of going to the contemplatives because they have a lot of information. That's their thing, really. So they may well, if a ruler can't find it, the contemplatives might be able to. We might have to agree to rescue some of their colleagues, though. I think in terms of.
Well, that's this, something we can bargain about.
To who did you write this message there in the chat?
Oh no, that was just a joke to Brent because he was talking about being. Yeah. Belongs in a museum.
Yeah.
Very expensive museum. I have no problems putting it in a museum, for the right finder's fee.
So, what are we thinking?
Sorry. The thing is, I don't want to go to her before the next day. Because I can only use this power once a day, and I want to make it as clear to her as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can. I'm fine with that. I mean, she may have that ability, or is that something that's unique to your type of mystic, or?
No, but communicate information. You can mind link. I don't know if maybe it's 2 ways. Yeah, I check it out. It's.
Let's see here.
Every mystic has this at 2nd level.
Oh, then she's gonna have that as well. Mm-hmm. So if you want, she could just. Oh yeah, maybe it's not the other way around though.
I'll check it. Hang on a sec. Mind link. there. Your link, your monitor touches swiftly communicate.
It's once per day on any given individual.
Ah,
Oh, there you go.
that's a good.
Does it mean then once per day on air?
You can only do it once a day on Tom, but you could do it to Cat or
Yeah?
the Mystic.
Okay, yeah. Then okay. I thought I'm limited to once a day and that's it. Okay, so yeah, then it's no problem. Then I go to her and I ask if I could talk to her about a dream I had last night, and I would like to link our minds to make the picture as clear as possible.
Okay. So, and who do you bring with? Just yourself or anyone else?
I go on my own because
Okay.
I trust Tom, but his comment about selling this orb pissed me a bit off.
Damn it!
That's some good intra-party conflict. All right, so Zachros, you head over and you walk up to her little like it's effectively like a space kind of like pod, not pod, but the what do you call them? Streamliner, Skyliner, trailers. They're kind of like silver on the outside. So you open the thing up and you can hear the jingling of some, like gewgaws and kind of like charms and stuff like that as you come in. And you hear from inside, "Welcome, traveler! You come to seek knowledge." Oh, Zach, it's you. And again, this is a Hilky woman, red skid, and played by middle-aged Kathy Bates. So she looks over, and a heavy-set woman. She's like, "Oh." She's like, "Zach, I don't know if I can do another day like yesterday. My head's still swimming from that."
No, don't you worry. Oh, it's her. Okay. No, I just had to Google who Kathy Bates is.
Oh, okay,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah, okay. No, don't you worry. It's only I seek information, and I would like to share this with you. And we have to. If you would be okay to link your mind with mine.
Of course. Hold on. Oh. And she pours this kind of like strange, like, thick, like maroon-colored juice from her fridge. Takes it out and pours 2 glasses of it. Brings it over and puts it down. And she says, "Here. This is good for what ails you." And waits for you to pick up the glass. It's a filthy glass as well, too. Like, she's not the best housekeeper.
Is it not a bit early?
She says, "Oh, no. This is not to... this is something different."
Okay.
She slugs it back.
Yeah, I think I trust her, even though the glass is filthy. I pour it down.
So, and it has the consistency of like slightly dried over pudding. So it kind of slides down your throat, and and it if you were to like basically take a container full of like juicy ants and put them in a blender, that kind of is the flavor that you're getting right now. And you kind of but it does
Interesting. A strange taste.
So
I
then
never tasted something like this before.
she sits down at across from you at the table, and she says, "All right," and she leans in and waits for you to take put your hands on her temple.
Yeah, I do this, and then I transfer all the information in a split second.
Okay. And she says, And it's the orb that interests
The
you.
orb. Yeah, and do you have any idea, is there an old temple on this planet or an area that looks familiar to you?
There's tons of them around here. That's you're trying to find a single grain on a beach, but I don't like doing it, and the answers aren't always clear. But I could tap into the Akashic field and see if we can find answers there.
I would be very grateful if you would do this.
Well, if you're able to get me one more of another bottle of that Castrovellan fruit wine, I think we can call things even.
Is any specific place I can get this for you? Or is it just in your fridge and you want to get it out?
You overestimate me. And she kind of looks at you, Riley, and she says, Zach, do I strike you as the kind to have a wine cellar?
I look at the glass. No. No.
She says, all right. It'll take me a few minutes to get myself focused on this. And the experience is not always pleasant, particularly if you're not used to something like this. But you should be able to ask, while I get ready and focus myself, you will be able to ask the network. One second here. Sorry, I was doing the math in my head, and I'm using a different game for how many questions you're going to get. One sec here. I know this makes for thrilling gameplay at the table and viewing, watching Kev make his stupid face while he's looking shit up. But what she'll do is you will be able to ask 4 questions. Now, the thing is, what she warns you is the questions will be answered yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or a single word question. So choose your questions carefully. In addition, the answers are not always direct or helpful. So take the answers with, you may need to be cautious with your reliance on these answers. So while I prepare myself, why don't you give me a few minutes and then we will proceed.
Okay.
Okay. So knowing that, guys, if you want to talk it over too to figure out what your 4 questions are going to be, you don't necessarily need to restrict it to this. But let's give you guys 10 minutes to figure out what, or to help Tom figure out what his questions are going to be. What are you thinking, Tom?
My first question would be, I ask if this place is real on this planet.
Okay. Okay. And what would be your second question? We're going to do it. I just want you to make sure you got those in your mind beforehand. So you guys can...
Then I would ask if this would be a temple that is close to us.
Okay.
We'd have to do something. Could you do more specific, like within an X number of kilometers? Because close can mean a bunch of different things.
Yeah, but you get only yes or no,
Yeah. Like if you said within, I guess close and within 200 kilometers doesn't really. Okay. Either way, it doesn't really that specific.
Knowing that, because remember, it doesn't necessarily answer. There's a single one-word answer. What if
we ask
you
how far away it is?
Yeah.
Sorry?
You possibly.
Could we ask how far away it is from here?
Yep.
That's
and could we also ask what direction it is?
What about, how many kilometers?
If we're getting a one-word answer, it would be X days travel in north by northeast. And we could then...
That's not one word.
Well,
I'm forgetting a one-word answer. Here's 10 words.
What if we asked the number of kilometers and then it could say it's, 512 or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking we could ask the bearing. That's a single word,
Sorry, didn't you just say
250,
yes, no, irrelevant, and
Yes,
irrelevant?
no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or another one-word answer.
Another one-word answer.
You could ask whether it is related to the Shobhads right now, to the Shobhad uprising or whatever you call that.
Yeah, okay.
Because we still trying to figure out why this Witchweird is there now and why they are doing this reunions kind of stuff.
Okay, so the first question stands as it is from my point of view. Like, is this real?
Okay.
The second would be, the Shobhads involved in this? Is that what you're thinking?
I think
the
is it
Shobad
related to the
involved,
Shobad uprising?
or the Shobad unification with the Khan of Khans, or whatever you call that.
Would you
Not,
have a
not,
name
are
for
are
this?
Shobads involved? I mean, then the answer is probably yes, but we don't know anything with that answer.
What about how about what's her name? Not Maria. The one we're working for. What if she's involved?
Sedona.
No, not Sedona. The one Sedona hired for us. Not Maria. What's
We were hired to get her.
Myri?
Myri? Yeah. What if we ask is Myri involved?
What have you guys learned that? No, I don't want to shit on your ideas here, Brent. But like, what have you learned thus far that would make you think that that's even remotely possible?
Well, she's been seen with the Shobad, so maybe she's.
No, she hasn't.
Haven't they spotted like a human with them?
No, that's the only human that you've spotted with them is the that was connected at all was that guy who walked out of the desert that they suspected was in Shobad territory.
Oh, I thought for some reason we had information that a human woodman was spotted
Nope.
with the show. No.
This is where a solid single list of clues is not a bad idea, guys. Where we've got only one character handout for what you know, not what you suspect, what you know. Because I think what happened is that theory was bandied about last session, and I think you took it as truth.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've got. Is it real? Is it involved with the Shobad uprising?
Yeah, whether you
I don't
call it
want-
an uprising.
Actually,
I mean,
actually, that's only.
Do we know the
secondary
name
to
of the
me.
witch
First,
weird, or
first
is
I
it
want
just-
to. First, I want to pinpoint the shadow orb. If Sedona is involved in with that, or the woman we're looking for, I don't really care. You know?
yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I will ask that, but it's like I will only waste one question for this. You know?
Right.
That's Sakros' point of view, because this artifact is really important to him. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Because as it turns now, it looks like we're using this to find actually the woman, yeah, which shouldn't be really the point of the whole thing. What we're doing now. Yeah. Okay. First, the first question is this real? Is this place in my dreams? Is it real? Then I try to pinpoint the direction. So what would be the best question now to ask to get the direction to this orb?
I would ask maybe I'd still like the number of kilometers or something like that because it's specific. They can spit out one number as a response.
Okay. So the direction,
If we could get a
like
direction in the
north,
same way.
west, south, yeah, that kind of. Then how far?
Yeah.
And then the last question is the Shobad's uprising involved with that.
Okay.
Yeah, would that be okay for you?
I think those would work.
Okay. All right. So you are back in the Varula's quarters. She has closed all the windows and she's cleared out a fair amount of space here on the ground in the middle of it, and she set up a rug with a bunch of intricate kind of designs on it in a language that you don't quite recognize. And she has got herself seated on a pillow, and there's a pillow across from her for where you can sit as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks up and she says, "Zach, you're back.
Yes.
Are you ready?"
Yeah. But I'm working to get you a bottle of wine. Don't worry.
Oh, it's just, I trust you.
I sit down. Okay, I'm ready to start.
Okay. Now, the thing you should know, Zach, is this can be troubling for those who do not have the connection with the Akashic. This is a struggle for me to go in it. You are going to be... You're going to be jumping into a raging river and trying to paddle in a specific direction. What you need to do is keep your mind on the other shore. You understand?
All right.
All right. Now, and she looks up and taps this kind of like, it's effectively like Acatonian tequila, something made from a local, cactus type thing. And she says, "This is for after." She says, "But this," and she places before you this kind of like it's a crystal of some kind that has been carved out, and there is water that's been placed inside. And she places her hands in the water, like on the bottom of the bowl, and kind of looks up, expecting kind of you to do the same. She says,
Okay, I do this. Yeah.
Okay, so you're sitting down across from her, cross-legged, on the mat, on your pillow. You place your hands in the bowl. The water feels cool, actually, which is surprising, because it seems you think that every bit of water that you have consumed since you got to Akiton has been fucking armpit warm. So this is somehow cool. And then there is... she takes a deep breath, and you feel her hands move across yours and take your hands under the water in the crystal bowl, and there is a rushing and falling sensation that hits you, and you see sort of this like kaleidoscopic, overwhelming barrage of designs and symbols and things like that, and sounds that are sometimes voices, sometimes animals, sometimes vehicles, as if as your mind is trying to grasp and make sense of where it has now been plunged. And where you, I think, finally come to rest, where would be a place, like what would Zakros visualize as a place of solitude and peace for him?
Like the room on our starship, the Liberator.
Yep.
He built the room like a Gothic style temple.
Okay.
And that would be his kind of place of serenity. Is that the right
Awesome.
word?
So you're there, and then what you can see through the doorway, there is this incredible what do you call it? This incredible rush of like sound and wind and whatnot just outside. So you've collected yourself, and you know that the answer to your first question will be found by stepping through there. Are you prepared?
Yes.
Okay. So you step through, and you are suddenly caught up in this swirling... imagine having the thoughts of hundreds of thousands of different beings swirling around in your head and trying to focus just on that. It's, it's 10,000 voices all screaming at your head while you're trying to remember the words to a song that you have heard sometime. What I'd like you to do is to give me your first question.
Is the place out of my dreams real on Akiton?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
You're being buffeted around more. Would you kindly give me a will save?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry, there it is. Okay. All right. So you're, as you're being buffeted around, I think that you're taking some psychic strain from this, and you're beginning to. You suspect that Harula may be punching a little above her weight on this. So you take 11 points of damage, just to your resolve, not to your stamina. Okay, next question.
Sorry. To what?
To your... Oh, sorry, stamina, not your hit points. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, how much damage was that?
It was 11, I think I said?
11, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're about... What is your next question?
In which specific direction? What is it called? The compass, the north, east, west.
The cardinal directions?
Yeah, yeah. I asked this question. Which direction is this place?
Would
so
you
that
give-
I get an answer like a north,
Yep.
west, or
Yep.
something like.
So, would you give me a give me a culture check, I think. Excellent. Okay. So you're going to do what all fine lawyers always do, is ask a question, realize you left out a key bit of information, and add something on. What you didn't specify in that question, relative to what? So you can tack on.
What?
Here, I think you wanted to add.
Yeah.
From
Sorry?
here. So which direction from here?
Ah, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. What direction is it? Depends where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, these things are notoriously difficult to pin down for an answer as well, too.
I think I'm really bad at casting a wish spell and.
So, and that's what we're doing. I mean, you guys may have picked up on this, but you are. She is casting Contact Other Plane for you.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, okay. I'm trying to think. You got a result on it that is a random answer to a question. So I'm trying to think of what the answer will be. Instead, it will be. That the. It will be that. It is the first step.
Very good. Then the third question will be.
You're swirling around again in this thing. Give me a will save again, please.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, it's only going to be half strain then. And this time you only take 5 damage.
Okay.
Okay, third question.
The third question is. How far away in kilometers or miles, whatever, is it from here?
It is. Okay, so then it doesn't say it is. The answer. Let's see, actually, hold on. It would be. It's going to give you a specific number that is in the range of about 1,200 to 1,300 kilometers from here.
Okay. Then I'm ready for the fourth question.
Okay, one more will save. It's being swirled around by this tempest. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I take my last Nova point.
Oh,
Hang
nice.
on.
Okay, you need to know a point. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll 20 does not disappoint.
No.
13 damage from that one.
That goes into hit points then.
Okay, so you begin. We see your hand in there. You kind of, and there's blood that begins to come from your nose.
Yeah. No problem. Okay, the last question. Help me out here, guys. What was the last question? Is the Shobhads? What was the question?
I think
It was whether the uprising was connected with the temple, I think.
Okay, is the Shobhad uprising connected with this place of power?
You can try and repeat a question if you want. There's nothing that stops you from doing that. The result, it is a unpredictable result as to whether it's going to give you the answer to it. But just so you know, you can, if you want, you can re-ask that same question you had before.
Ah, okay, but I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I asked the question about the Shobhad uprising, if it's involved or with the place of power,
Okay.
where the Orb of Shadows lies.
You actually receive no answer. There's just the swirling chaos of this massively powerful network of Akatonian minds. Would you give me one final will save, please?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, jeez. All right. Ooh.
Yeah.
19 points of damage this time.
That's alright.
Oy. Okay. So as you come out of this, you slam back, and you know you look like all color is drained from you. You've got blood coming out of both of your nostrils. You know you ache on every part of your body, and Harula kind of looks over. She's like, "Zach, hold up."
Were we there with him when he was doing this, or was this?
He said he left you guys behind.
All right, no, because we've got the med kit and I've got medicine. So
Yeah.
That's alright. I said, give me. Didn't you promise that drink for after?
Hold on. And she closes her eyes, and she's going to cast a cure spell on you. Or it's called heal, isn't it?
Healing touch. Hang on.
What is the healing spell called in this, guys? I can't remember.
Oh,
Mystic Cure?
I think Mystic Heal is your actual...
Yeah, but that's basically...
Oh, Mystic Cure. Yes, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, Mystic Cure. So would you kindly give me... 3d8 plus 4. That's how much you heal for hit points. Nice. Okay, so you got 14 hit points back. So she goes, bends over you and kind of helps you up and hands you that Akatonian tequila.
The good thing is with this spell, I don't know if she does it, but she can transfer more hit points from her life force to me.
Hey, she's already used up one of her high-level things here, so...
Yeah. Okay,
You're a nice
no
guy,
problem.
Zach, but let's not get...
Just saying.
So you get up and you kind of, wipe the blood off from your nose. So Zachros comes back to join the rest of you guys. He is...
Wait, hang on. I stay with her with the drink. I spend a resolve point to get all my stamina points back.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and... Yeah. So the 10 hit points, I can actually... I have a healing touch. Hang on. Yeah, I can do this once per day. I can heal 5 hit points per mystic level.
Okay.
So I'm fully healed up.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. And let's head back.
So they don't have to know that I nearly died in there.
All right. So you rejoin your colleagues. I mean, if there's anything else you want to ask of Harula or talk to her about, you can feel free to do that. But if not, then we'll transition back to you rejoining your colleagues. Now, the rest of the guys, have we decided? Oh, Voldan, your camera is a little... It's a little angled
No,
up.
I'm just.
Oh, because you're slouching, okay. Like, if you're role-playing a Skittermander, you're bang on. It's like, hi.
Or an Izuki.
Yeah. So... what has been the plan of... I guess first off, Zachros, you come back. What do you tell your allies, in particular Tom and Kat, who seemed interested in this?
Yeah. So I could pinpoint somehow the direction. First, this place is real. It is here. I could pinpoint 1,200 to 1,300 kilometers from here at the first step. But I didn't get an answer if the Shobhads are involved. Unfortunately.
Okay. Have we got a map?
You could study a map? Yeah, absolutely.
We know where we are, and then we've got a direction and a rough distance, so we can draw the circle and see if anything interesting.
Yeah. So
if there's any feature where the two intersect, that
Sure.
might be a possible.
So you guys kind of like hit up this holographic display of the map. You guys have from your friends in Rust Racket, you've got a fairly good map of the location. You call up this sort of like holo display of it. Kat, you tap on your wrist pad, and there's this kind of ring that goes around that measures out that rough distance around, and you start kind of moving the display around, trying to study the different designs there. Now, you guys will be able to aid. I'll let one person aid on this. What the roll's going to be is, I think, survival is going to be the skill we'll use here.
I only have a +4.
I have a +5.
I'm 8, actually.
There we go.
Use my +1.
Help yourself.
So Voldan and Kat, maybe you guys will be the ones who will be best placed here. Voldan, you want to try and help out here?
Yeah, I think I could just fix. No, so this was a holographic map, yeah?
Yes.
I don't. I think Vodan may. I could just. I could just show. No, that can't be it, because this is. I don't know. This is just a rock or something like that. So I would use. So natural geographic. I don't know, some kind of pre-sorting interesting areas or something like that. So
Okay.
I will know probably some
Sure.
of them. I don't.
So go ahead and give us a survival check, please. Your DC is going to be 15. Ooh.
No, I wanted to use my Nova point. But
Hell
now-
yeah. Go ahead. Roll that.
Yeah, Maurice was just too eager to roll again.
Whoa.
So,
Big roll. Big roll. Okay.
I couldn't work out who was supporting and who was us.
Well, because you had an 8, I was assuming that Voldan was going to support you, and then you were
Yeah.
going to make the main roll.
Yeah.
So, Voldan's kind of studying this stuff, but Kat, you're the one who is really, looking at this stuff in detail here, trying to figure out. I think you've been, because you're effectively been kind of the navigator as well as the pilot, you've maybe been, trying to figure out what routes you could be going to the different places that you were thinking of.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly in the last level he's been taking more notice on that.
Yeah.
Physically survival and living in harsh conditions. So
Yeah.
yeah, and also I'd imagine we've all got fairly good piloting skills, so it is somewhat similar to navigating.
Yeah.
It's a location and a bearing.
So what you can pick up, Kat, is and with Voldan's help is this. So there are a couple of places that look like they have they have other places where there are box canyons or similar things. Not box canyons, but like serious networks of canyons. Not as big as the Adio Rift, but similar types of things. But the one that looks the most promising, given what Tom the Android and Zachros had told you about the Progenitor ruins, there is a region to the northeast that seems really promising. And if you cross-reference it with how good Tom rolled before on his culture, do you think there may have been some of those, I mentioned the sort of dynastic subset of the Progenitor ruins? This seems to be a region where that was, those have been discovered. Not in the specific area you are, but, there definitely have been ruins of that type found there. So you think you've got a pretty promising lead for where to go, guys.
Cool.
Yeah, and northeast with the first step, that sounds kind of reasonably, 1 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah, so I think we just need to maybe stock up on supplies. Did we have any UBPs or tradable goods left so we can buy supplies from the caravan?
Cat has like 5 credits to his name, doesn't he?
2.
Dude.
Well, I calculated it.
Can I get a hot dog? No. How about just the bun?
Maybe I'll buy him a big, I'll splurge. We can give him some money for like a big thing of rice or spaghetti or
Okay.
pasta or something.
We could shoot small rodents in the desert.
Yeah. Are you saying that you bullseyed womp rats in your T16? Okay, so what?
I'm now imagining us driving us along with me holding the sniper rifle, trying to.
Yeah. So unless there's anything else you guys want to do, why don't we do this? We'll take our mid-session break, and then we will come back and we'll pick up with you guys heading out. We'll see Rust Racket, kind of rumbling away in the distance, and you guys, off on your newly souped-up vehicle, heading in the direction. And what I want you to consider is sort of the strategy. You've got a rough region of where this is, but there is going to be. For one, you're traveling across the Acatonian Desert, so there is going to be potentially some danger there. And secondly, what your strategy is going to be to find this particular canyon. And feel free to be creative with that as well, too. I'll definitely... I'm more inclined to say yes than I am no with that kind of stuff. So, anyway, back in... Let me put our... What do you call it? Our intermission music on here. I'll see you guys back in a couple minutes.
All right.
Good night.
So we are the only ones here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So instead of a drink, I had a meatball. That was.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Here we go. Here we go. Turn that off. Turn that up. Oh, we lost Tom. No!
Yeah. He's hungry now.
Oh, we lost Tom altogether, actually. We did lose him from the chat as well, too. Oh, I'm getting shit from James about not including plot points directly stolen from The Mandalorian. I posted this morning about how, like, watching The Mandalorian and knowing that we're running a space western in this campaign, I'm like, I really couldn't be more excited for this session. But I'm getting shit for not having directly replicated it. I promise, James, there will be some space droids or droid gunfighters in the near future.
Ooh, I promised to summon one.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so let's talk about.
Back.
Oh, you know what? While we're getting set up here, let me get something ready. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
So we are all getting a new Nova point, or
You are all getting a new Nova point. Was that a hopeful request, or is
more like a rhetoric request because I had already given me one, but I was just wanted to make sure.
Yes. Yes, you do. Oh gosh. Let's see here. So everyone's got their Nova point. Their extra Nova point. Let me put you on here. How many do you guys have currently? Each.
2.
One.
Let me add mine here.
So we get one and add. Yeah, so this would be 2. Because I'm using. Hang on.
Can you hear me?
I can. Yep.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay. All right.
Yep.
Thanks.
Voldan, how many do you have? 2?
No, only one.
Only 1. Okay. Tom,
Yeah.
you got 1 or 2?
2.
2. Okay. Kat, you got 2. Because you haven't used yours yet, right?
Yeah.
Dope. Okay. And Zakros has Van.
1. Yeah.
Van. Okay, got it. got it. Uh-oh. Zakros, only 1. I'm sure nothing will happen.
No, of course not.
Let's do this here.
What could there be? A purple worm or?
I got to use my first dragon in Pathfinder 2 in our Saturday session or Friday session.
Sweet.
Dragons are pretty fucking awesome.
Oh, hey, sorry, I'm saying, did you ran L5R, the new one?
Yes, yesterday.
Yeah, is it? I know it's a similar system to Star Wars, but I heard it's less swingy.
Way better. Way better.
So how do they make it less
Let's
swingy, but
we'll
use
deal
it?
with it afterwards, Brent. Just
Okay.
because
Sorry.
we're yeah, but I know I'll be happy to tell you afterward, Brent. It was very very positive.
Okay.
So, okay, guys. Then where we are picking up the talk to me about what strategies you're using to try and locate this specific area here. What are we thinking?
Well, I did buy a Starfinder compass, so we have a direction, and we know how far we need to go.
Well, you have a rough idea of the region. Picture, that what in that circle, there's going to be a swath of probably like maybe 100 miles worth of canyons that may fit the bill here.
Well, I was thinking if we get roughly to where the center of that is, and maybe then Zakros could try and commune with Pharasma again and see if something comes up.
Okay.
That was my thought. I mean, obviously, if we fly there and there's an obvious sort of temple complex, it did look like it was something in the side of a cliff. So I'd imagine it's a bit like, say, some of the temple, the cliff tombs in the Valley of the Kings.
Okay.
So we're not looking for a big pyramid. We're looking for something that was hidden in a cliff tens of thousands of years ago. So I think getting there and trying to see if we can get another mystical hint.
Is there a pattern with these temples that they're at a are they randomly distributed on the planet, or is there a pattern like ley lines or something?
I'm not sure, but I mean, depends is whether you recognize it when we get there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too. Was there anything from that vision that?
But it was all sort of sandy and blowy, wasn't it? So you couldn't really see any major landmarks, I assume.
What else do you recall from the vision?
There was a canyon, sand, and went up a bit, and then I ended up in a kind of.
Well, if we look for canyons when we get there.
There may have been elements in your dream that were also important. Pharasma does not, as they say, fuck around. What else was a part of your vision?
I have to rewind the YouTube channel there and have a look. Can I recall knowledge or something?
You guys can help out too. Was there anything else that was in that description? What about, say, when you looked up?
Oh yeah.
There was this red moon, or was it kind of
Blazing sun.
sun or blazing sun?
So is it directly overhead? I mean, that would give us a time.
It was.
So we need to work out when midday is for that position, which I presume we can do. I mean, that would be either piloting or stroke stealth at survival, I suppose.
You may be thinking too literally. Tom the Android, what are you thinking?
So the sun was, I guess, we could. Does the sun in the vision equate to what when we look up? Is it the same pretty much?
Tom, the sky, you knew it was an Akatonian sky when you looked up. Zakros. You knew that it was when you looked up in the vision. I guess Tom the Android did see it as well, too, because of the shared thing. Yeah, it was definitely the Akatonian sky.
Well, could we use the constellations to work out where we are?
Well, it's midday.
Oh, sorry, yeah, you only
Yeah.
saw the sun. I'm checking that.
And it was blinding for him as well, too.
So what? No, I guess.
Well, unless there's something when the sun's directly overhead, you get it's easier to see. I'm not going to have the whole thing where we get a diamond on a staff and poke it in the ground in the right place, sort of thing. But I don't think it can be something that's tied to time, like on a particular day, it all lines up. I'm still liking going there and seeing if we get any further hints.
Okay.
But I'm going to be careful not to drive into any wasp holes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. On the way there, would you kindly give me a survival check? And I think, Kat, you're going to be making that roll. And then, Voldan, if you want to try and assist, you're welcome to do that.
Yes, I will do it.
Yeah, so presumably we're sharing the driving, I suppose.
Okay.
Hang on. Character sheet.
Okay. So you got +2 to your roll there, Kat.
Oh, so survival.
Oh.
Ooh.
You do have Nova points.
Okay, let's spend one of those for that
Okay.
reroll.
Nice. Well, that's stealth.
Sorry.
You need to know. Oh, God. So, even with the +2 from Voldan, I think what's happening is, Kat, maybe you're... I don't know, why do you think that you've been distracted so much from this? You've managed to get yourself completely lost.
Probably been worrying about running into something like we did before.
Okay.
So I was probably paying attention to the potholes or the things we ran into.
Sure. So you guys have been traveling for about 4 or 5 hours at this point across the trackless desert. Let me make a quick roll of something here. Would each of you kindly give me a perception check? Whoa! Sacros, holy smokes. Those eyes are worth the money you spent on them.
Yes.
Okay, so what, Zakros, as Kat's kind of going along and trying to keep, moving around across the Acatonian wastes here, you can see off in kind of a direction to your right, there is a disturbance, like some dust that's being cast up. You can't see it because of the rolling kind of terrain and the bits of rocky outcropping that go out. But you distinctly think something is following you. You haven't spotted what it is yet, but there does seem to be something that's keeping pace with you, leaving a wake of dust behind it.
Okay.
That's not good.
Yeah, I say, hey, JT, look over there. Something is following us.
Do we want to... Can we go up a dune or a rise to sort of get a bit higher up, and then I'll pass my binoculars back to someone and they can have a look?
I think that with the rolls that you guys got, that's as good as you can get. You're able to, you can tell definitely something is, and that should reflect just how good these things are at stalking. You get up to the, you do get up to a point where you park your thing on, you stand up to your full height and kind of, look around, and you can see that thing. It's really a testament to Zakros's either his or a combination of his paranoia and his keen eyesight that he picked it up in the first place. Because you may think it was just a low-hanging cloud on the horizon, but you can't see what it is that's actually following along. It does seem like it's either big or it sounds like there's quite a few things just because of the size of the cloud.
I wonder if we could try and lose it.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Speed up and try and...
You guys are one step ahead. You've already lost yourself, so you'd have no earthly idea where you are at this point, or Acatonian idea where you are at this point.
Well, I know the direction to Starstone on Absalom Station.
Okay, so you know where up is. You've got that part's down pat.
Yeah,
What's your next strategy?
Well, we could either try and lose them or try and ambush them. Was my other thought, but I think losing them makes more sense from my point of view.
Yeah, I mean, we're already lost, so it's not like, trying to lose them will make us more lost.
Okay. So is the goal to lose them or to try and figure out where the hell you are? Because night's going to be coming soon.
I think we try and lose them, and then park up somewhere secluded. Unless we want to try and risk driving at night. We've got enough people that can see in the dark.
What do the rest of you guys think?
Yeah, let's do it like that. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily want to start a firefight right now.
Okay.
No. Okay, well in that case I'll
Kat,
speed up.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a what is your bonus from stealth and what is your bonus from piloting?
Piloting.
Take the lower of the two and then roll that.
Piloting is 11, stealth is 11.
Okay. That's your bonus?
Yeah, stealth or survival.
Don't you have... Hold on, is that your ranks or your level? Or your bonus?
That's my bonus.
Bonus. Okay, okay. So go ahead and pick either of them then. Go ahead and roll.
I think we'll go piloting because that's more or less what we're trying to do.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And I think maybe speed up because presumably we weren't going flat out all the time before. We were going at a cruising speed, whereas now we're going.
Okay. All right. So you, the rest of your day is spent, you know, kind of trying to be as evasive as you can, and unfortunately, like while there are there's outcroppings and whatnot along here too, it does seem like whatever was following you has continued to or was able to track you even in spite of those circumstances. The evening, however, comes, and are you guys planning on traveling through the night then too?
Well, if this thing's that we haven't managed to lose it, maybe we should try and find something defensible to stop at.
Well, I'm not sure you're sure whether you've lost them or not. Why don't you guys give me another perception check, please? This will be, you know, the sun going down, you guys checking in to see where things stand here.
Well,
full 10.
Yeah, I'm hungry, so I mean...
you blow up a cactus. Yeah. It was tracking us, I swear. Okay. So I don't have a perception check from Yumo.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just checking whether the binoculars I've got actually give me a. +1 to perception.
Okay.
If it's more than 30 feet away. Right, so this is +1.
Okay.
Oh, that's a bit more like it. So that is a 29.
You cannot see anything following you.
So, do we drive on slowly?
Well,
And
if
maybe
you're
have a
going
short
through
halt.
if you're going through the night, you're going to be worrying. Like, it's not the fact that you can see; it's the fact that you've been driving all day. And if you're driving into the night, we're going to start talking about fatigue kicking in.
Yeah. Can I find is there a sort of little side canyon we can sort of hide in or sort of pull it to one side?
You can probably. It's not going to be any more or less safe than. It's not really a canyon. It'll be. You're still in the open waste right now, and you're lost. So.
Okay. Well, if we go up a sand dune or something and just park on the opposite side from the followers.
Well, you don't know where they are.
Oh right. Well,
Is it just
in the direction of travel then?
Okay.
So maybe just somewhere, you know, generically defensible or
Sure.
something. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a sec here, guys. So let's take a look at your place here. Boom. Yeah, so make sure I don't have dynamic lighting on this. I do not. Good. Okay, so you guys are right here. And I'm assuming what you'll want to do actually is move everything right in the boom underneath that cliff there.
You mean the one down further here?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh yeah, that would be okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But I think we'll point the nose away.
Yeah,
So
I'm not going to move the
effectively-
token. We can assume that's fine. Just I'm not. Yeah, that's not necessarily important for now. So, okay. Then the evening passes. Are you guys setting watches as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we all got improvisation, haven't we? So doesn't matter who goes with whom.
Okay. The evening passes uneventfully. And the morning begins to come. You guys have your morning rations. And now it's time to figure out where the hell you guys are. So, would you... Well, I guess is that what you're intending to do now? Or...
Yeah, if we wake up sort of early-ish, have breakfast, and then we'll put our heads together and see if we can work out where we are.
Okay. So then, Volden, would you kindly give me another survival check, please? Let's see if you can... Looking at the map... Okay, +2. So, Kat, go ahead and give us a survival check with +2. Let's see if we can make some better headway here. Nat 1.
Actually, we're here. We're there.
That's the hole over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to spend a Nova point?
I think I'd better actually with
Yeah.
that. So these are. So that's all of them. So there's stealth. Come on. That was a bit better.
No, why are you rolling stealth?
Sorry, they're next to each other.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right.
So 18, is it?
18
Yeah,
total.
18.
Yeah. So, you are for the first, well, I mean, for the majority of the day, you're wandering around too. Your compass is still, doing the digital equivalent of spinning around because of the strange magnetic fields here. You don't know where you are. It's another day of wandering around. I'm going to give you +2 to your next roll because you've made some better progress.
Yeah, I'll make sure I walk away from the vehicle when we're doing this again, just in case the vehicle's upsetting it.
Okay. Go ahead and give us everyone give me another perception roll here too. This is now
Right.
2 days you guys have been driving around aimlessly in the desert here.
I'm sorry, that was the wrong button.
That's okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's 25 for me, assuming I'm using the binoculars.
Clearly, your paranoia is all kicking in, guys. And you can see, it appears that there is a cloud following again.
Yeah. Should we ask them for directions?
That's that was what I was thinking.
Well, we could do.
Exactly the same.
What I will tell you is your plan about the canyons, if you are able to find them and make your way there, you would have a bonus to your effort to try and lose them in that. Like, that was good thinking to take advantage of the terrain. It's just that where you are, there's just not enough of it to really do that. There's enough to break a line of sight, but then you know, if you're going to carry on in any direction, you're going to be seen again.
Yeah, 'cause we're going to be kicking up our own dust as well. So do we try and wait for them to come to us and have me set up as a concealed sniper in case it goes badly?
Yeah.
As a fair warning again, too, the deserts of Akiton are not... do not expect balanced encounters. Fuck.
Just say walk really carefully on the sand.
Yeah, just as your experience thus far, like the way you guys have handled unbalanced encounters is to run and try and get out of the distance. That's how we're modeling it in the game, so it's not just, hey, you're all dead. But that was a good instinct that you guys have had thus far.
Well, do we want to try and lose them again and keep going and see if we can get back on track?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
To see if
yeah.
it has a lot more canyons, we might be able to lose them a bit better there.
Yeah.
One bit is that these things have been following you for, it seems, at least a day, before you really noticed it, Zakros. So if they haven't attacked you thus far, maybe they're waiting for the right moment.
So they're not getting any closer or further away? Can we get a rough idea of...
You may have lost them for a day, it seems. Like, you didn't see them that night, you didn't see them for much of that day, and then by the end of the day, though, there's that cloud again that's following you, and it's just as elusive as what the first day was. So we're on our 3rd day of travel right now. Are you planning on trying to lose these things again, or are you planning on trying to figure out where you are. You spent the day trying to figure out, the previous day, second day of travel, trying to figure out where the hell you are, without success.
Well, I think that we need to figure out where we are, and then we'll keep going. See whether they get closer.
I think we have to confront them. They must have better equipment to spot us.
Okay, but we'd have to get ready to really run away very fast if it's overwhelming.
That's always an option.
So what's the plan then?
Do we just park up and wait to see if they get closer?
Yeah, we could do that.
So you're just going to spend the day waiting?
Well,
So they are so far away that they would need a day to come to us, and we can still see them. That is not.
Do we get an idea of how far away? Is it like they're 5 miles behind us, or
edge of horizon
10?
kind of thing?
Oh, so 20 miles away, roughly.
Yeah, okay, but then we can let's find out where we are. And if they find us, then okay, we will know where we are.
If we spend the day trying to get back on track and then not bother about losing them, and if they catch up with us, we'll either talk to them, shoot them, or run away.
Go ahead and give me a survival check. Voldan first, then Cat.
Is only one allowed to help? Or can I study the constellation of the sky?
So I'm helping this time.
Okay, yeah.
No, because Voldan's the one helping, you guys don't get to roll, see who rolls best, and then go from there. So.
Right, no, I was thinking because I've been running so bad, I thought I was going to.
Oh, I see.
Well, no, instead of me.
Yeah. That's actually. So that's much better. With the help of Voldan, who will give you a +4 to the roll instead of a +2, because it was nat 20. You actually get. You've now got yourself back on track, and you sort of. You can see that the holographic display that you've been using to sort of track your progress has been sort of, like when your GPS puts you off the road, and it's because it's an area you've never been before, and it's just giving you the wrong information. That's what's been happening, and I think that you get to a point where finally you're able to properly locate, and it kind of zips back to where you thought you were, and you're like, all right, here we go. Let me see about your pursuers. Okay. So give me another perception check, everybody. Let's see if you're able to pick up anything here. Android Tom, no.
I picked up sand.
Nice, Zakros. So Zakros, you can see that whatever is following you is still following you, but it's seemingly at a distance still. Fortunately, you are able to get yourself into the canyons now. So our scene cuts to see you guys, rolling into this massive kind of canyon structure. And from what you had said before, I think the strategy was to try and get to sort of the central region from that, and then adopt some other kind of plan here.
Well, whether Zakros could meditate and see if he gets a further inspiration from Phrasma.
Sure. So the point where you reach yourself, it's not Zakros and Tom. You guys actually have literally seen the vision, and I mean, a lot of the canyons on Akiton do seem very similar. This one does seem close to what you saw in your vision in terms of there's not like all those little holes in the side like you saw in that swarm, like where all those insects were. But it's not quite right. But you stop, and when you stop, the sound of your engine kind of echoes down the various canyons. What are you planning on doing, Zakros and Tom? You guys have been largely relegated to keeping watch here.
Well, I'm definitely putting up my armor.
Okay. And what about you, Zakros?
Yeah, just try to look for familiar things from the vision. Like I look around, do I spot like the right rock? Yeah, I don't know. I try to imagine it from a different angle. Maybe we are on the wrong side.
Okay.
Yeah, I just try to figure out where it is.
So from this time of day, it's a little before. It's maybe about an hour or so before noon local time, and so the sun. You're looking up, and you look at the canyon, you're looking up, and it's not quite right. Like
maybe we have to.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait for where you see the sun.
Yeah.
In the same point of the vision. Presumably, you could have shared it with all of us now. Actually.
I could have.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we wait till the sun is roughly in the position in the sky that you remember, then maybe that's the right time for search.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try to do this and wait just for the right time.
Zachros, give me.
It looks like. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
No. It's all right.
I was just thinking, should one of us stay on watch for the pursuers while the other three do the searching? If we're all like engrossed, we don't want someone sneaking up on us. Is what I was thinking.
Anyhow, I was giving on the way to here. I was giving JT the vision, and I asked Vuldan, "Are you actually bothered to know where we're going?"
I think I'm the only one who know where we are going, because all you other guys are just getting us lost.
No, what the destination looks like exactly. Would you like to know this?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
if you think so.
then I do the mind link with him as well.
Okay. All right. So everyone knows precisely what you're looking for, and y'all can tell that this is not the right canyon.
Right.
Now,
okay.
At least the specific spot you are right now is not correct. Now, Zachros, there were two elements of that vision as well too. Remember, you looked up and you saw that blazing bright star. But what happened when you looked down?
God.
You guys have all shared in his vision now too, so you can feel free.
I think we're not good listeners.
I think there's a chance of that. When you looked down, what you saw was that it shifted into the pale blue light of the moon.
Okay. So we have to wait maybe for the full moon instead of.
Yeah, that's an idea. I mean, we could. So it's midday, so we'd have to. Yeah. And obviously, we'd have to keep an eye out for anyone coming up behind us.
Are you guys familiar with the notion of a divining rod?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what does a divining rod do?
Detects water.
Well, more precisely, what does it do?
Well, it detects things, actually, I think, in a more general sense. But
Well, it doesn't detect them. It brings you to them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You don't just pick up a divining rod and then say,
right, so-
here's the location of it. It brings you. Zachros, perhaps what you need to do is to be effectively Pharasma's divining rod.
Okay. So I meditate and pray to Pharasma and tell her, guide me.
Okay? So why don't you do this? Would you kindly give me a mysticism check, please? Nice. All right. So you folks, what does it look like when you're praying? Like, are you getting on your knees? Are you lying down? Are you just standing? Do you turn your mind to that gothic fig in your starship?
No, I just go on my knees and raise my hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you raise your hands and you can remember that vision, and looking behind you in the vision, there are footsteps, 4 footprints, I should say, left in the sand. So without opening your eyes, you get to your feet, and you kind of can feel the connection of Pharasma. And the way you feel that is, again, that whispering. And it does sound like it's coming from ahead of you.
I just start walking.
Okay.
I get up and...
So you guys can see that Zakros begins walking away from you guys. His arms akimbo, his eyes closed, seemingly walking along. And Zakros, your focus is solely on the vision, or the voices that are bringing you along. What do the rest of you guys do? What happens with the rest of you as you see Zakros going forward?
When he starts wandering off, I will run up and catch up to him and follow him.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking we just follow slowly in the truck rather than.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Okay.
Beep, beep, beep. Out of the way, Zakros. Beep, beep, beep.
Goddamn pedestrians.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are, following along behind. Zakros kind of walks off, and then as you hear those voices getting louder, Zakros, you wander along, you reach a point and turn, and you head off down a side canyon as well too. And this goes on for probably about an hour and a half, until you reach a point where you feel surrounded by the voices, seemingly from everywhere. You open your eyes, you look up, and the sun is blazing directly overhead. And you look to your left, and the light is all wrong. The light is all wrong here. You can see the clear exposed reddish brown or reddish black of the cliff face on the left side there, of the canyon wall. It's the cliff that you saw before in your vision, but there's something wrong about it. The lighting's all wrong, the coloring is all wrong, and most importantly, there is no aperture. There's no doorway. There's no hole in the side of the canyon wall. So you guys stop, and Zakros seems to have stopped. What do you guys do?
Well, assuming Zakros says, well, maybe this is where it is, but we've got to wait for the moon.
We all had the same vision, so we can see.
I think we have to wait till the moonlight comes out, and it will show us the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are in a canyon, so it is like wedged to the sides.
Yep, it's straight up on with a very craggy, rocky side on each side. The canyon floor itself is about maybe 100 feet, 120 feet across, depending on the point. And it kind of winds down and then hits a dog leg at the far end, going further down into this uneven territory. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see here. Anybody can give me a physical science check, please. Anyone who's trained in it.
Sure.
Wow, Kat, nice. So, Kat, what you can tell, just the geography or the geology of this region, this has not changed. Apart from erosion, there's been no significant seismic activity here for probably 20,000 years, 30,000 years. Like this has been this way for ages and ages. This is a very old land.
Okay, I'll let everyone know. Yeah, I think we wait till the moon comes up and see what we see.
Okay. What do you do throughout the day, guys?
I would like to climb up the cliff and have a look.
Okay.
So above.
Use your claws and your jump boots, your fancy new jump boots. Go ahead and give us a perception roll.
I'll pass you the binoculars so you can use that.
Okay.
Okay.
He's +1.
Okay.
So I'm using athletics for climbing, yes?
Oh no, you don't need to make that roll. Between your jump boots and your climb check, I'm assuming that even if you failed, you would just propel yourself back up and be able to get a grip on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I do appreciate that I've engendered a fear of athletics checks in you. Okay, so you get to the top there, Voldan. You pull out Cat's binoculars and go ahead and give us a perception roll of +1.
Ooh. And 19.
Okay. Doesn't appear to be anything on the horizon.
Yeah.
This would be a great place to have a Shobhad show up, though, and be like, oh, did we lose Tom again?
Zakros, you're off the screen on Roll20.
Oh yeah, Tom, are you reloading Roll20? He may have frozen up. Oh, we lost him in the call as well too. He'll be back in a moment.
Ah, all right.
So can I just look in the valley again? So probably, I don't know. Maybe it seems a little bit odd or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
sure. I know you're not trained in it, but go ahead and give me a physical sciences check. Let's just see what the dice tell us. 4. This is, without any doubt, a canyon.
yes.
But there's probably a little like rock on the top you can kind of rest yourself on. And is Voldan's plan to kind of have high ground and kind of do overwatch on this area as you wait?
Yes. So my idea was, if we were to be ambushed, I would like to be the one who is above the ground. Too.
Definitely. Yep. High ground. Yeah, that is some tactical thinking on Voldan's part. What about, while we're waiting for Tom to come back, what about Tom the android and Kat? What are you guys doing throughout the day?
Well, I was wondering a couple of different places here just to try detect magic, see if anything pops up.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you go ahead and give me a mysticism check, please?
Right.
Wow, really good. Okay, so you, again, having seen that vision, you kind of walk your way over to where the actual, where is it here? 1 sec. There we go. Of course, have the wind coming through the canyon. You walk up to this thing and look up, and it's sweeping, probably, God, like 80 to 100 feet above you. Looking along, there's not a single indication along this entire stretch that suggests that there's anything other than natural wall here. What does it look like as you stretch out your mystic senses?
I think, you know how days sort of make symbols in front of other people's eyes?
Yep.
I think this will make mystical symbols sort of around Tom's eyes.
Sure, okay, great. So you see, as you're reaching out, and what you can see is that there is a massive source of transformation magic right along the wall. And it runs up, the source seems to run up about, again, like 40, 50 feet, and seems to be 20 to 25 feet wide as well.
Hey, you guys, I think there's something, might be something against this wall here. I'm betting there's something behind it. It's got this high amount of transformation magic on it.
But maybe that's not the wall I'm standing on.
The sun and the moon. But I'm betting this is more than just a wall.
Okay.
Is it just an illusion, or do we have to wait for the moon to let us through,
No,
as it were?
It's not an illusion. It's transformation magic.
Right. But so at certain times it will open. Well, it's certainly big enough we could drive the truck in, which would make me a bit more confident just leaving it out here for.
I don't know if we have any tech items that would
We've got a rad scanner, I think, haven't we? But I'm not sure.
Sorry, I lost my connection.
Oh, that's okay.
My internet connection. I'm back.
So guys, tell Tom what happened. Tell him about the giant desert dragon that attacked.
Oh yeah, that. While you were walking behind the vehicle.
Yeah. Just kidding. To tell him what happened.
Okay, so I was walking, Tom the android was walking around doing using detect magic and found a large amount, high-powered source of transformation magic about looks like a 60-foot area on the wall in front of us. So my bet is, under certain conditions, it transforms into an entrance of some form.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do any searching on the wall. Like, I've got a portable scanner. Maybe I could scan for.
Are you hoping I'd finish that sentence?
No, I ran out of idea midway through it. I'm like, well,
No,
I
hello.
just like, see if it's hollow or there's any like smaller energy sources
Yeah.
or.
No joke, Brent. Like that's an actual strategy we use in questioning. Well,
Oh, yeah,
'cause
no,
people hate silence, right?
I just
You know,
started the
Perhaps I'd use, and you just wait, and people
Yeah.
like filling in shit, right? So, well
Well,
done.
I think we
I don't know if you didn't fill anything in.
Because I know that fucking game.
right.
Can't bullshit a bullshit.
Didn't we obtain a rad scanner from the ship?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a portable scanner that gives I think +4 to search checks.
Right. Well, I'll move the truck up to near the place, and I'll get a tea or coffee going, while other people. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Here, let's establish, because our buddy Pete from Garblag Games, when he played that one shot, he did establish that the Veskian military is kind of like the British colonial army. So maybe it's a very Veskian thing that Voldan has now embraced, and he's making, there's always time for tea.
I don't think so.
Well, I did think about doing a Skittermander sort of Batman type character, who
Yeah,
was like
but-
the guy that did all the cooking.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Right,
But,
well, yeah, so let's park the truck there. We've got the rad scanner and we've got this other scanner, so let's see what we can find by normal means, and then we might have to wait till,
Sure.
I would imagine, full
Okay.
moon.
So why don't we do this, guys? So
So
let's.
ju-
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I just one question. So there was this part of the wall, the cliff that is subject to transformation magic energy or something, but that is not the part I'm standing on. Just to make sure.
It is not the part you're standing on. No. Do you want to be on? Like, you would have known from the vision what side of the cliff or where that door was before. Do you want to be on that side of the cliff or the other side?
The other side, so opposite, so I could
Okay.
look inside.
So you'll be about 100 feet up and then about 100 feet away from that side of the thing. Okay. Awesome. All right. So then, what? On spectrum scanning. Okay, sure. You get your broad spectrum scanning kit out there, Tom the android. Why don't you give me a search check, or sorry, a perception check, please?
All right. Does anyone want to help me while I'm looking around here? Can anyone else?
Well, we've got the rad scanner, so maybe I'll take that and help out. And the
Okay.
rad scanner back that up.
So the rad scanners, you're not going to get any point bonus from that, but okay, nice. And then why don't you give me, Kat, so just as a refresher, guys, remember, yeah, you don't roll if you're going to take the primary lead on a roll, wait until the person who's aiding makes their roll. Okay, so Kat, go ahead and make your check, please. Your perception check. And that's why. Okay, so you have no hero point or Nova points left, I think. I think the use of the rad scanner is actually it's giving you really weird results on it, Kat. That is causing you to not make optimal use of yours, Tom the android. So you're getting a -2 to your roll.
So it would be at 25 total.
25 total. So thanks to the broad spectrum scanning kit, you do get some results here. There's nothing unusual about this. Like, magic is something that technology is not. At least this technology that is not hybrid technology is not geared to interface with. But there is a chamber behind this wall, and the chamber seems to go back a good 60, 70 feet, it seems.
Do we know how thick the wall between us and the chamber is, roughly?
Yeah, you probably do. The wall between you and the chamber is about 10 feet of rock.
Okay.
So,
This is the universe saying us wait for full moon.
do you have anything that can get through rock, though? Any spells, any devices, anything like that? You could definitely, like, you could try and get yourself through there.
Hold on, hammer.
No, Wodan's hammer now. It makes a deafening sound, but that's almost everything it does.
Well, I'd rather not destroy a potentially 50,000-year-old archaeological site with
Yeah.
stuff. I'd rather wait and see if the moon lets us in.
But there's a very old school of archaeology where, destruction of the monument is okay so long as valuables inside.
No, I watched a video about a 19th century archaeologist, an Italian guy whose name I can't remember, but he's the one who brought the bust of Ramesses back from Egypt to what's now displayed in the British Museum. And the reason he was hired is because their initial plan to stuff it with dynamite and blow it into 2 pieces was unsuccessful. So, yeah, his only instructions were don't drop it in the Nile. So.
There was one of my favorite. I can't remember what I saw, what it was at a museum. But the history for the item was awesome. Somewhere there were a group of there.
You know what, Brent? Let's just.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We're coming up on a half hour left, so let's share that story at the end. Let's. Is there anything else that's going to happen between now and when you guys wait for midnight?
No, apart from obviously eating and staying out of the sun.
Yeah, I will patrol.
Keeping watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have your little tent set up for your evening. You've had your meal. The night is going on. Voldan, you are still studying the horizon. It doesn't appear to be anything. Still nothing coming. The sky is, as is often the case, or if almost always the case in Akiton, is completely clear. You can see the brilliant stars up there, and those of you who are very well versed in the in navigating by the stars, probably you, Kat, you can see the glow that is Absalom Station in the sky. And then, as it gets closer to midnight, or closer to the moon's kind of apex over this area, you, Zakros, and you, Tom, begin to feel a slight kind of tremor that comes in kind of the mystic field. And as you guys make your way over to the, I'm assuming, well, you tell me, what is your plan here for when this door, activates? Assuming that it's going to activate and open, what is the plan here?
I think we go in. I wasn't sure whether to take the truck in.
So
with us
what I mean is where you placing yourself for when this thing opens. Are you right outside it? Are you keeping a distance? I know where Voldan has placed himself, but
so is Voldan taking? He's got coverage on the door. I was going to stand about 40 or 50 feet back.
I'm standing right next, 100 feet above, on the other side of the cliff.
Okay.
So,
I will be standing right before it.
Yeah, I will go on.
In front of it.
Well,
okay.
Cat's going to be a bit more careful and stand about 40 feet behind those two.
Okay.
He's got his guns and his backpack with him, and some rations in case we get stuck in there.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, the appointed hour arrives, guys. The moon is high above. Zakros and Tom, you're standing before this, and you hear what sounds like stone being dragged on stone. And you blink, and suddenly, there is an open chamber before you, with massive pillars on either side.
Mm-hmm.
Voldan, I've placed you just slightly askew because you can see the opening, but from your vantage, you can't really see in there yet.
yeah.
Oh, right.
And this looks, looking up into the side, this looks exactly as it did in your vision.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next, guys?
I go in.
Okay. So making your way in, what you can see is that there are those same pillars that you saw before, just as you did in your vision. to your left, or both left and right, there are these enormous pillars all the way up to the ceiling. The ceiling seems to be, 80 feet up. And even on the sides of the chamber, there's the wear of time, and it's really just the weight of like time and exposure to the elements that's damaged the interior here. You don't see any obvious vandalism, no obvious damage being done to these things. So Zakros has been making his way in there. He disappears within the chamber. What about Tom and Kat and Voldan?
Hang on. When I'm there, where I'm standing now, I turn around and say, "Let's come on. We don't know when this thing closes."
Oh, I'm coming by. I'm right up behind you with a big grin on my face.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't
Kat
even
is
think
gonna-
about it.
Cat's going
think about
Cat's going to hit the button on the spacesuit and have it all powered up.
Yep.
Get out a torch and start walking in behind Tom.
Okay.
So
Voldan,
he's
all
probably going to be
three-
about there.
Yep. All three of your allies have made their way into the open chamber. What are you doing?
And I'll call out Voldan on the radio. Are you coming in, or are you just going to watch outside? Because we'd have to wait a bit for him to catch up.
Yes. So I think I will look around one final time to see whether I spot something on the horizon.
Okay.
And if I don't spot anything, I would move down.
Okay. What your jump jets? How do they work again?
So they can only lift me up 10 feet. So that would not help. So I mean,
Okay. So one of you leap down and then just use them at the last second. But I think you would still suffer fall damage then.
No. That's...
Okay. So yeah, you make your way. You know what? You've got a rappelling rope set up. You've been your character is a soldier. He plans for contingencies. So you put your arm around the rappelling rope and you jump down and SWAT style, boom, hit the ground, and then you run and then activate your jump jets and hurry your way over to join your colleagues.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. So that's what you see. Yeah, so that is, you see now in person the same designs that you saw before, and Zakros, oh, wait, oh, what's going on here? Oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I hit something. So what you saw before, Zakros, this pillar here, that's the one that had the markings of the orb on it.
Weren't there not two pillars with the Kazathan? No, the four-armed creatures?
Yes,
Or
they
it was
begin.
behind?
So right around here is where the pillars are intact enough for you to see the incredibly beautiful designs and whatnot that are on the inside of this chamber.
Okay, I just scan my surroundings,
Okay.
look for dodgy ground, and then I activate also my spacesuit so I can breathe normally.
Okay.
And I move further ahead. Is this a 5 foot or is it 10?
5 feet.
The square.
Well, you know what? They'll be 10 feet, we'll say, because it's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I just go to the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
or
the
to
stairs-
the last. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Those are
Which we
stairs
did-
leading up.
Yeah. So I look at the pillar with the orb. Do I find something strange or?
It's it's very much as you saw. Your vision was quite detailed, so you certainly are able to see that enough. Why don't you give me another mysticism check? Let's see if you're able to pick anything further up from this now that you're actually here. Okay, I don't think there's anything further, although it matches everything that you have seen. Now, Tom, I think Tom the android. I know that you're more inclined to take stuff as you go too, but am I correct in thinking that your character takes careful, images or photographs of everything?
Yes, he would be documenting this. He wouldn't be necessarily grabbing everything. He's not like, I'm not looting things that appear valuable just for the sake of looting. But yeah, he would be documenting, probably scanning once in a while, looking for using detect magic to see if there's pinpoint any specific sources of magic.
Yeah.
Just using his skills as a archaeologist and magic item scholar to sort of like focus on what he needs to look for.
So one thing that's of interest on these illustrations, guys, is because it's really only the 4 armed creatures that are on these hieroglyphs, and there's no other point of scale, like point of reference for scale. It's you can't, like, these things could be human size, they could be 12 feet tall like Shobhads, they could be the mid-range the way that the witch weirds are. And you can see Zakros up those stairs. It leads into a bigger chamber.
Yeah, I move a bit further. I look behind me, see if they keep up.
Yep.
And,
Surely. Still,
Yeah. Cat was also going to take photographs of the hieroglyphs, so...
Okay. You guys are taking very, very careful,
sightseeing tour.
Yeah.
The temple
Selfies.
Sightseeing tour.
Okay.
All right.
So Zakros, you carefully make your way up
okay.
into that, and what you can see in that room is, for one, this room is almost completely free of sand. And in fact, the wind, it's a little more quiet in here.
No sand, so it's like rock ground, like.
Ooh, you know what I'll do? Hold up. It is actually very beautiful and carefully designed tile.
Okay.
Ooh. Sorry. There we go. All right.
Okay. There's nothing special in the middle. That's just on the old
There is
map.
actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was fussing around with music
Okay.
cues. Forgive me. So what you see here is that this room is utterly free of sand, and what's in here? For one, there are 2 pillars at the other side that are, you can see there, that are almost pristine. Nearly like nearly untouched by time. In particular, comparison to the pillars from the previous chamber. In the center there, what you can see is a stone, or rather a depression that youth might think would be a pool. Now, while there isn't any piling of sand, there is a lot of dust in here. So every footstep that you make leaves this easily visible footprint behind you. And it appears that there has not been any other footprints in here for a very, very, very long time. In the center there, where the pool is, there is. It's obscured by dust. You can't see whatever colors or whatnot may be under there, but there is designs that seem to be water, like as if it was stylized waves going around the outside of this. But the pool itself is full of a even level of sand, and you can't actually see how deep this thing might be. So what happens next, guys? You can obviously see there is a smaller door that leads, or smaller archway that leads deeper into this structure on the far side. Would everyone kindly give me a perception check, please?
I was just going to say I'd like to scan the room.
Okay. For no reason. I mean, I'm not... Nat 1 by Voldan. Awesome!
Yeah,
I have this interesting tile right in front of my foot. So.
Okay. All right. Whoa. All right. So, Kat, what you can pick up, let's see here. Oh, Zakros did really well as well. So, Zakros, your eyes are fixed on that the pool of sand before you, and you can see all of it kind of. There's a little, like, very faintly. There, it looks like there is something rising from within, and you see one or two little rivulets of sand beginning to kind of fall down in as if something is pushing itself up from somewhere deep beneath it. And Kat, you see this as well. So that's where you guys have all gone in here. You're getting your scanner out, Android Tom, and you two see this. What do you guys do, if anything?
I'm going to activate one of my new things I bought, which is the Cold Fusion, which is a swift action to call a pistol to my hand.
Okay.
And I'm going to basically call out on the radio channel.
Okay.
I assume actually the radios are working in here. We're not.
You're all standing right next to each other, yeah.
And I'll sort of say there's something in the pool pointing to it, and I shall take a 10-foot. Well, I shall move. That's about 20 feet, isn't it? I'll move over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I say, yeah, I see this too. Maybe we just move quickly through this room to the other side and leave this, whatever it is, alone. We don't want to defile this temple. We want to leave the spirits in peace. Just hurry to the orb.
Okay. Tom the android, since you told me you were getting your scanner out, go ahead and give me a perception check, please. No. Where's that scanner here? Oh, that's a 14 in total. That ain't good. Brent, do you remember where the broad spectrum scanning kit is from? Is it from the core rulebook?
It's there. Hang on. Let me. I'd probably put it in my gear here.
Okay. So I feel this is a lesson for me to go through and update your characters like I said I was going to, because that would give me the page reference.
I did not put a page reference.
Madison, you screwed yourself again.
It's either the base book of the armory under toolkits.
Sorry, the base book or the armory, or
Yeah, one of those two. It's a toolkit.
that doesn't. So it's in one of the Starfinder
It's,
books.
Starfinder Armory, page 108.
108. Awesome. Thanks, Mo.
I'll put the text in here.
Oh yeah, that's good. Actually, that's even better. God.
I'll add that to my description.
Where are we?
It is in one of the two books that has all the gear.
I can't remember which one that was.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
So full. Where's it here? These tools: animal trainer, astrogation, aura detection, mental. Where's the full spectrum? Oh, here, broad spectrum, because I'm not calling it the right thing. Okay, so what you pick up... Oh, it sounds like it's a dog. What you pick up is there is a life sign in here.
Hey guys, I think there's something alive in here. I'm getting a life sign reading.
Only one. Wait a minute.
It's only one, and it's fairly large.
Yeah, it looks to be fairly large. Alice,
Yeah,
can you
let's
pinpoint
move.
that?
Okay, so
let's move.
Zachros, you I think you told me you kept to the edges, right? You kept a distance from this thing.
Yeah.
Was that what you did? I can't remember. I saw you move your character over there, but
Sorry, I run around like...
that's right. Okay, as I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Having seen that, and Kat, you took your position. You've summoned your pistol to your hand. Tom the android and Voldan, what do you do? Oh, Voldan, you rolled a 1, right?
Yes.
Action.
Fantastic. So you step
Do I know
forward.
where it's coming from, or
You can tell that it's right in there, but unfortunately, Voldan was oblivious to what was going on. He has stepped forward, and then the sand begins swirling around, and something bursts out. But I see the time, guys, so I guess we'll have to see what bursts out in 2 weeks' time. So, all right. Oh yeah, shit. And Zachros, you're not going to be here. That is okay. We will cross that bridge when we get to it. So Voldan, something is going to burst out of the sand there, and we will all roll initiative. But we'll find out what it is next time. Oh, you know what? Hold on, guys. I think we might be able to... Can we go 10 minutes over time?
Sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah? Okay, then fuck it. Everyone click on your token. Go ahead and click on initiative. I will open my book back up. I need to quickly run to the washroom, and I'll be back in back in a minute. And then I will...
That's my initiative when it's at home.
There we go. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
Oh,
So just in case we make it to the orb, I think the orb you can see into it, yeah, like use it for divination, and maybe we can find the woman with the orb. Yeah, that's my intention actually.
Okay. You want to say it works like a dark eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't say it, no. Yeah, I think you can use it for divining.
Alright. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. The two venti coffees I had today were coming to calling. Alright. Descending. Alright, so Zakros, you are going to be up first. Let me roll for this thing as well. 19. Okay, so let me get my token here. Yep, that'll do. Yep, that'll do even better. Boom. So this is what roughly bursts up from the sand there. And give me a sec here to quickly set a bar for you guys to track here. Boom. There we go. Okay. And I'll add it a turn. And it got an 11. No, sorry, I rolled a 14 plus 5 is 19.05. Right, so this thing has spent a move bursting up. Now, it doesn't look like that, guys. It actually looks like this.
Oh, yeah.
So, much friendlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so goes out and it is going to try and deal with our stalwart captain here. Does a 27 hit your KAC?
Yes. Barely. but
Just
Say
barely?
no.
Just barely. 13 points of damage as this thing's giant mandibles crash onto your armor, and you can hear this piercing thing trying to get its way through your armor. Zakros, you've seen this thing burst up. What are you doing?
Yeah, I try to. I call on Pharasma, and I will try to invoke fear in this creature.
Ooh, very good.
And yeah, I don't know how can I describe that this creature. I don't know what affects it, but I think
All living
Pharasma-
beings, yeah, all living beings are
Pharasma will-
affected by, have that impulse for life. So if you are, if you're imposing the touch of the opposite of that.
Yeah, okay. Then then I impose the image of Pharasma taking its life.
Love it. Okay, so go ahead and click
And-
on your spell.
Yeah, hang on a sec.
And I gotta... Awesome. Okay. So, let's see here.
If it's CR4 or less, and if it works, it will be frightened for 1 minute.
Nice.
And run away.
Okay, so and then its save is against 16, right? Will save? Its will save is a failure. It is garbage. So this thing is frightened for 1 minute. Holy smokes. Okay, and the frightened condition is you must flee or fight, and you take -2 penalty to ability checks, attack rolls, saving throws, and skill checks. That's a huge debuff. Okay, so this thing is blindingly panicked now. If it had an action before the... Here, I'm put that on there. It's frightened. If it had an action before it had attacked, I would say that it is going to flee. So this thing seems like it's going to panic and go racing out of here. Is that it for your action there, Zakros?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Voldan, what are you doing? This thing has let go of your armor, and it seems to be screeching in this horrible insectoid way. And seems eager to get the hell away from you.
I don't know whether it helps when I claw it. I don't know. Maybe if it runs away, then I just try to intimidate it even more.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
I will roar as loud as I can.
Love it. Go ahead and give us a intimidation at +4. Nat 20.
Nice.
So you know what? Go ahead and roll your claw damage anyway, twice. You've terrified this thing. This is going to be basically like cardiac damage as fear overtakes this thing.
Also, yeah. Yeah, okay, so it will be 1d plus. Wait. I have it in a minute.
And your, reptilian roar echoes across the walls of this thing as well, too. And deeper in. Zakros, you can hear as it echoes deeper into the cavern. This seems to go down for quite some further distance.
Alright.
Okay, 22 damage. Holy smokes. Whoa. So yeah, this thing is whipping itself back like a rope being whipped back and forth, or a whip. Cat, what are you doing?
I'm effectively going to...
What are you doing?
I'm going to effectively move
Okay.
to there, stealthily, trying to get into a good position to shoot it where it can't see me.
Okay.
So I'm going to use stealth for my trick attack for this one.
Okay, go ahead.
So
I don't like you're in the there's nothing that's blocking the line of sight there. There's not, apart from doing like the Flintstones kind of like doot 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 doot, there's not really can't really stealth there. Although, hold on, a counterpoint. You know what? If this thing was distracted by the roar, maybe that's what you're taking advantage of.
yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
effectively,
Yep.
effectively, I'm just trying to get to so we want to do that one first. So that is
Okay.
no. We can use style hand or other, but yeah, let's use
Okay.
17. So what's my target to hit it?
Is 15 plus the so that's not good enough, unfortunately. Oh, it's 20
Okay, so-
plus the CR. So that's not good enough. But
No,
go ahead and make your attack roll. 19 versus
bang.
KAC. That is good enough, yep. So 5 points of damage. Alright. Whoops, wrong thing, Kev. Come on. Alright, the next up is Tom the Android. What are you doing?
Alright. Since everyone is taking shots at this thing, I will stay where I am, focus, and a bunch of bunch of technological symbols form around my hand, and 3 blaster bolts go flying out.
Okay.
And let me hit that. That's my magic missile, and I guess that would be it for.
Okay. So let's see here. That is 3, 6, 10. 10 points of damage. All right. Boom. This thing is hurt again. All right, and on its turn, still affected by the fear spell, it goes racing off down the cavern. Go, Fulden, if you want to make an attack of opportunity, you go ahead and make that.
No, it's just
let
a
it go.
creature.
Yeah. It goes skittering out of here. Yeah, and you notice as it passes, it leaves no trail behind. So this thing may have been its daytime napping spot. Those of you who have life sciences.
Can I try and identify it with life sciences?
Yes, you can. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, 20 again. Good lord. So this thing it looks like an enormously oversized version of something that is encountered on other worlds. The smaller versions of it are known as flare leeches. They are very nasty things that like to feast on the marrow of living creatures.
Is it, from my knowledge, is it likely to leave us alone now that we've heard it, or is it likely to try and...
A nat 20, yeah. Like the massive, burst of damage that you guys did there for hurting this thing, as well as the terrifying roar from Voldan and the enchantment that Zakros placed on it. It's not a thing that seeks vengeance or anything like that.
Okay, so probably not.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay,
What your impression is that this is probably a place where it could stay out of the heat, throughout the day, and then it could have free access in the evenings.
Okay.
Right, so it may just been a scavenger of opportunity. So no one's so Voldan's taken a little bit of resolve damage. Did you want to take time to recover that, or are you just going to carry on? Or not resolve, stamina.
On,
Yeah, let's carry on and see what we get to.
All right. So then turning to go deeper in, we got 6 minutes left, so we'll give you a little teaser.
Well, Kat, we'll just quickly check there's nothing in that sand basin.
Okay. Yes, so you check. It's about 4 feet deep. And it seems like this thing was just hiding in there.
All right, okay.
Now, Zakros, with that thing having run off, you have an opportunity to actually take in and see where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where you are, this room has small piles of rubble and seemingly impossibly bits of decaying wood. There are 3 on the wall over here, and there, there, and there. There are tall, about 9 foot tall sarcophagi, and you can picture that it's kind of like, I'm picturing it more in like an Assyrian kind of style than an Egyptian style.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4-armed creatures with stylized depictions of them. They don't quite look like Kasathans. They don't quite look like Shobhads. They don't quite... And to be honest, you don't know what a Witchweird looks like, really. So...
How big are they?
The sarcophagi are 9 feet tall.
Ah.
These 2 here, that one on the north side and the other one just below it, they seem to be still sealed. The one down here has been pushed to the side, and there appears to be a stairwell that leads down from there. There is also a much more ornate stairwell that goes down from here. This one is rough hewn into the rocks, as if someone put just enough to be able to scramble down and up in. The other one is as beautifully constructed and tiled as the rest of this room. And what you can see is, as you guys are taking the steps and disrupting the stone beneath, there is beautiful, like, vibrant reds and azure kind of what's it called? I'm thinking of here, like blues, and it's absolutely gorgeous craftsmanship in all of these areas. And I think that's where we will leave our tomb robbers here. Is there with the sarcophagus?
I object to that description.
Did you say you resemble that description? Is that what I heard?
I'm a professional archaeologist.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's where we'll leave things, guys, with you guys deep in the depths of this hidden tomb, and we'll find out what happens next time. So let me turn down the music here, and we'll make with the outro. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for episode 20 of our Starfinder campaign, which is apparently now, Raiders of the Lost Orb. I guess I need to do a new poster, hey? So, as always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, if you want to compliment our heroes, our brave players, on the amazing role-playing they've done and the clever tactics that they're employing, feel free to do so, and I will be sure to pass along the word. You can also reach me on Twitter. You can reach me there as Dungeon Musings, or at Dungeon Musings, and you can reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com, but the best way to get a hold of me nowadays is on the Dungeon Musings Discord server. You can find a link to the server in the description of the video, and that'll take you through to where we have channels dedicated to this campaign, all the other campaigns that we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other games, and a Looking for Group game, and a great sharing pictures of our dogs channel as well, and cats in some cases. In addition, there is a link in the description of the video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel, and it benefits the SOS Children's Villages International charity. It's a really terrific charity that's active in over 130 countries that provides direct benefits and support for over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children from around the world. It is a phenomenal organization that really gives these kids who would otherwise not have an opportunity to have a childhood to do that, to grow up in a loving and supportive structure. You can learn all about the villages that they set up, the people who they employ to act as caretakers for these kids by following through that link. And any donations that are made go directly to help SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to any middleman. None of it goes to the channel. It just helps out the kids. I don't want anyone to feel obliged, of course, to make any donations, but if you are inclined to toss any galactic credits or UBPs in the direction of the channel, that is the direction I'd encourage you to consider making that donation. There's also some neat rewards. We're just winding up the last of them too, but starting in January, I'll have a bunch of new rewards for donors, including sessions, charity sessions that I will run. I've run, I believe it's 6 or 7 this year so far, so it's been really great, and to date we have raised over $3,000 for the folks at SOS Children's Villages International. So it's a good way to support the people who really should be having the opportunity to play games, which is kids. Anyway, last but not least, in my rambling outro, a very big thank you to my players. 20 sessions in, guys, and you're still coming back for more. So Ingolf, Morris, Tom, and Brent, thank you so much for joining me back in the sands of Akiton, guys. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thanks for running.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, then, for those listening at home, and for those who joined us live in chat too, Ice King, thanks so much for joining us as well too. He was giving, and James was with us the whole time. Brian is with us as well too. Thanks, guys. Until next time, thanks again for watching, and happy gaming. Oh, hold on, I didn't have the right button hit there. So happy gaming.